Claude Davis, Damian Stewart, Reed, Fabian Davis, then Tyrone Marshall. If you watch MLS, you remember him. Langley, Micah Hyde, Andy Williams, Ricardo Fuller, and Onandi Lowe.
Take a look at Uruguay. Gustavo Munua making the trek back across the Atlantic. Corbelo, Melo, and Lima the back line. Liguera will be countered by Oliveira with Martinez and Nunez in the middle. Then Chevanton, Ayeta, and Forlan in the attack for Juan Ramon Carrasco. A 3-4-3. Will it be powerful enough to shut down Jamaica? Stick around and find out. It's next. A lot of people, and me included, thought he would be heading over to Spain and stepping into the spotlight, but instead he's been sitting on the bench.
Well, he left Nacional as a champion, then he's been at Deportivo La Coruña, and he hasn't gotten much play at all, and he is a goalkeeper.
We are underway. Ted Gordon blowing the whistle. Well, in many ways, talking about being a goalkeeper, if you're a defender, there's 4 spots on the field for you to play. If you're a goalkeeper and you're not playing, you're on the bench or in the stands.
Right, and goalkeepers don't, they're not like they're going to get tired because they did 3 games in a row.
Onandi Lowe on a mazy run to the far side. Martinez pushes into the turf, and our first foul of the game.
Well, I think what we're seeing is sort of a feeling out of each other, strength levels, as Onandi took it to the defenders, and Jorge Martinez pushed him down just to see, as that's going to be his job as defensive midfielder, keeping Onandi away from his own goal.
You see Langley with the cornrows, and then the diminutive sight of Andy Williams. Of course, not that diminutive if he was about 5 yards further upfield. Munua would probably be breathing a little heavier, but Williams with a very talented right foot. Munua hopping on his line about 3 yards off the near post. Langley bending shot, but bending right into the arms and a wasted opportunity.
Well, neither a shot nor a cross, that one, so Munua had no trouble handling it. We'll take a look. I think maybe a better ball would have been to the far post for somebody to head it. And I want to see one thing, which I'd like to see how Carl Brown has worked this. I want to see how good Jamaica is or is not in the air, meaning up front. They have the height, they just don't seem to be able to put it together with technique.
Ball crossed into the middle, deflected out to the far side. Off the boot of Reed and out for the throw-in. Getting set to take it to Liguera. Cheva makes the move. Instead, the pass to Salayeta. Ball loose in front. Forlan turning shot. Blocked wide by Damian Stewart. Still loose in front and picked up by Ricketts.
I don't know if you got the same impression, but that Jamaican defense looked asleep at the wheel there for a moment when Forlan was surrounded by 3 men, and he still got to the ball before they did, was able to turn.
Long clearance upfield, controlled briefly. Langley heads it back, and giving chase now is Davis. Instead, it's Uruguay batting it forward for Forlan. Ricketts out to the top of the box. You can see a little bit of screaming going on from Tyrone Marshall, trying to organize the defense.
Now Andy Williams coming back to midfield.
Williams nutmegs Forlan, but he's going in the wrong direction. But from the fans' perspective, you kind of get the idea they don't mind.
Irie, as they say. And look at this.
Long through ball and off by Ricardo Fuller. Salad, as they say in Jamaica. And I have a feeling that
I've never seen somebody try to nutmeg
just outside their own area.
Yeah, going in the wrong direction. Well, offside call here. Just a bit of a delay, though, from Thoburn lifting his flag.
Uruguay wearing the sky blues with blacks.
See how Chevanton comes back to midfield to pick up.
Martinez passes it off. Forlan making the run. The shot from Chevanton and just wide of the target.
You saw Nunez put in the cross. Chevanton, who's going to roam the whole front of attack. He will move from left side to right side. Very mobile. There we see a man from Colonia in Uruguay. There's Richard Nunez. Actually, it's it is the Switzerland-based player sending the cross in.
Nunez actually has something to prove. If I remember, it was the last qualifier 2 qualifiers ago. He was pulled relatively early. Of course, then again, Carrasco has been forced to go back to the drawing board in qualifiers. And a little interesting that he goes back to that aggressive offensive 3-4-3 that he had somewhat abdicated in his last qualifier game due to some defensive woes, but I guess trying to work out some of the kinks.
Well,
here the throw in into the corner, and Ricardo Fuller beats one, beats another, lays it top for Andy. Williams drops it back. Langley's shot, and it slams off the support behind the goal.
some promising play from Jamaica, especially from Ricardo Fuller, who's been playing very well at Preston North End in the English First Division. As he cuts inside, sees three men close in on him, then finds Andy Williams. Andy could not take the shot. It might have been a left-footed shot. And then he plays it back. He has the patience to find his teammate Richard Langley, who sends it centrally placed, however, a good, strong shot. Combination up front.
And actually, that's one thing that Williams has improved upon. In fact, that is one of his strengths, is playing around the box, but not really creating for himself.
Meaning less selfish now.
Perhaps a little selfish at the beginning and then perhaps a little unselfish at the end of the play. Kind of that tweener, and it's kind of hard to find a spot for him. But with Theodore Whitmore unavailable today, Andy Williams will have a lot more responsibilities to create. 6th minute, still no score. Couple of shots for Jamaica, one for Uruguay.
What I like to see about Jamaica is the fact that if they can maintain the level, it means CONCACAF qualifying is no longer a 2 or 3 horse race with usually the usual suspects, USA, Mexico. Jamaica can go to one World Cup every once in a while, maybe not every World Cup. That's tough to maintain the level, but I'd like to see sort of a top tier of 5 or 6 teams, because that improves the whole the level of play in the whole conference, which I think is important.
I think a lot of people would probably say that CONCACAF has developed into a multi-team challenge, a multi-nation challenge. Well, the real problem, though, is that the Caribbean seems to be left out of it. You talk about teams like ball long up front for Lowe, holds it off, tries to cut back and passes across Lima. Ball lifted in by Langley and off target. A pass intended in that direction, but it will go out for the goal kick for Munua. You take a look at Honduras. El Salvador playing well. They beat Jamaica. They beat Mexico their last time that they took the field. Guatemala has improved a touch.
Right.
Costa Rica with Steve Sampson has shown some flashes, but then perhaps also a little bit of worrying signs in its last couple of games. We have to consider them a power, but the Caribbean powers of Trinidad and Jamaica seem to have slipped a little bit, and they have something to prove.
Well, there's also Haiti's a sort of a wild card. We don't know what they're going to bring. They certainly have speed and passion for the sport, but in terms of the Caribbean losing some prominence in CONCACAF soccer, I think you have a point there, especially since Trinidad cannot ever complain of not having all the conditions laid out in front of them to succeed.
Well, politically, obviously.
Politically,
and it's funny that goal money just keeps pouring in.
Whole project.
Ball stolen away nicely. Lima and Melo joining Curbelo along the back. Through ball, and Liguera's pass batted back upfield. There is Liguera.
We'll take a look. Jamaica has 14 foreign-based players and 8 local players, which is a formula they followed in '98. 2002, of course, they were left behind in that final qualifying group in CONCACAF.
Could have been a handball. Play on. A chance for Chevanton, breaking free at the spot, but the hard challenge from Stewart.
Chevanton chose to pass it off rather than shoot on goal himself.
Liguera, kind of a right-footed, poor man's version of Alvaro Recoba. Still has a few years left, perhaps, to take the next step. Here's Nunez.
Now here you see a problem right here. Nunez and Oliveira standing right next to him, because they play the same function, bringing the ball up.
Nice work by Ricardo Fuller. Fuller tripped up. Looks like it was going to be a dangerous play call, but I just think that the arm a little too vertical. Regardless, the foul called, and it's going to be a free kick.
Let's see right here.
Unless it was obstruction.
Pablo Lima. No. Pablo Melo, actually. No, yeah, good call. Tyrone went down, no? No.
Ricardo Fuller. Onandi Lo. Ego's perhaps playing a role on this one, but he does have a cannon shot and has scored from here. Did so last year. 10th minute, Low, blast, deflected, goal! He did it again! Jamaica has taken the lead, and Onandi Lo will lead them. The 10th minute goal from about 35 yards out into the corner of the net past Munua.
Well, Onandi Lo, 45th match with the Jamaican national team. I don't think he really struck it perfectly, but he just is so cool about it, like as if nothing happened. Munua couldn't get to it. He hooked it around the wall. Let's see, only 2 men right here, and it might have gone off the knee of somebody. I'm not sure. No, I think it just slid through. Nope. And Munua gets wrong-footed, I think, getting back to the far post, and he didn't put enough men on the wall. So, but it looks like somebody blocked his view. Munua, and Onandi Lo takes advantage of it, gets the first goal right here in the 10th minute of the match.
So a foul against Jamaica as Uruguay starts out, and well, I have a feeling that Carrasco's starting to wonder whether he maybe should have dressed a little bit more formally for the funeral. Chevanton flying in. Forlan in the middle, but stolen away on the far side. Taken back by Martinez. Liguera. Foul. Looks like advantage played, and Stewart picks up the sloppy outlet pass. Andy Williams has it stripped away. Liguera rolls it into the middle. Looking for Zalayeta. Cleared away for the throw-in for Uruguay.
Uruguay's picking one alley to attack, and it seems to be that far side as they attempt against Zalayeta, kicking the ball away.
Long upfield. Again, Jamaica likes to play in the air and on the ground, and sometimes a little sloppy tends to be their big problem. You have to remember that Jamaica has beautiful work from Andy Williams. The rifled pass cleared away somewhat desperately by the Uruguayan defense. Stewart lifting it down into the corner. Fuller challenging in. Defended by Lima. Clears it back upfield, but stolen away. Langley. Williams, low to the ground, spins to keep it alive. Williams with time. Lofted ball. Munua out.
Ooh.
Knocked to the ground as it looked like Onandi Lo just clotheslined him.
Ooh. Pablo Melo came over, but I think they were both going for the ball.
Well, let's see what happened. Did Lo get a little extracurricular as he realized he could not get to this one? A dangerous ball from Williams nonetheless. No, that's a clean play. It almost looked like he headed him.
It's just a collision right here. Lowe keeps his eye on the ball.
Only thing is maybe leading with the arms.
Okay, and Munua is staring, and he catches him with the right arm to the face. Well, let me tell you something. Andy Lowe is nothing if not solid.
No, and the other point you see here is Munua is not afraid, but he paid the price.
Absolutely. By floating that ball that high, Williams gave them enough time to get underneath and hit down on a collision course, which
But the other point
is going to lose right here.
The target as well was just outside the 6, which is that borderline area. If Munua does not come out, that's probably goal number 2.
Yeah, it is. It is, and nobody was tracking low, so.
Well, Luis Barbat is the backup goalkeeper for Uruguay. Would not be surprised if they make a change.
That would be sad for Munua. He's not playing at Deportivo La Coruña. He comes, play for his national team, promptly gets knocked out within 15 minutes, and that's why Carrasco is concerned right here.
Talked about the style of Jamaica. And Rene Simos, the Brazilian, Rivera as well, coming in after that. And many of the Jamaican players, similar to the Japanese actually spent a lot of time in their youth with trips to Brazil, not as extensive as the Japanese development, where they sent over youth teams en masse to basically learn jogo bonito. But you can obviously sense the flair and the joy and the style that they're playing right now, and perhaps a little bit more effectiveness than we might have experienced. So watch this. Reed cross off target, giving chase Fuller, pushing and shoving on the near side, and Nunez draws the foul, and a little bit of over dramatics from Fuller.
Fuller looking to pick up a yellow card once the call's made.
And it's that lack of discipline, and in many ways that's part of the problem with Carl Brown. Ball headed forward by Chevanton. A lot of the critics of his coaching seem to say he does not have the gravitas to control the players, and sometimes they play a little too reckless, and we almost saw it there. If this had been a qualifier, there's a very good chance that that might have been a yellow card.
No, yeah, whether the referee calls it or not, you're exposing yourself to a stupid yellow, which could keep you out of the match. And it's Ricardo Fuller, who should have better experience than that. Better discipline, at least. Uruguay they're having trouble stringing passes together.
Stewart coming out, sticks the big mid in, knocks it free. Langley trying to keep it in play against Martinez, knocked aside, and it's going to be a throw-in.
Game right now lacking a little bit of rhythm. Everything's coming up the middle. Sort of there's a stripe up the middle. You see how the play is.
Oliveira deflected. Zalayeta slipping and could not cut back in time. Tyrone Marshall low. Curbelo keeping an eye on him. That's not good. Curbelo, not the fleetest of foot, but doing a good job holding low and finally knocking it wide. Take a look at this stadium, which was rebuilt not that long ago, just a couple of years. And the pitch in great condition, and the lights a lot better than they used to be. This is probably one of the prides and joys in the entire Caribbean. Crossed in, deflects towards Lowe, who cannot control the shot, and it goes wide.
Well, it looked like Lowe he wasn't expecting that cross. Looked like it was maybe Davis who brought it in.
Fuller challenging, cleared away by Munua, but not far enough. Andy Williams outside of the boot pass. Can Fuller get there? No. Fuller. Lima, no foul. Williams lets it run, top of the box. Langley. Chip to the back post. Lowe slams in like a runaway semi. And if it was not for Liguera tracking back, that would have been another one. I'm not really sure what Ted Gordon's complaining about. It's just that Lowe's so much bigger.
Well, Langley took his time. Actually, Micah Hyde took his time. He wouldn't take a shot. And then he decided to send a cross. Sat up there waiting for Onandi to get underneath it. Onandi's a steamroller. He already flattened Munua. This time, he had another victim. I think it was Curbelo, no?
Out on the far side, Zalayeta. Martinez a little out of control.
Uruguay seems out of sorts. Look at this.
Nice give and go. Quick shot. And Williams with the volley on the flight. And stopped by Munua. 4 shots to 1 right now, and this is all Jamaica. Andy Williams. Williams cutting back to stop from being offside, and will slowly trickle across the end. You see Ray and Nephew, the Jamaican company on the signs in the background. They're the sponsors of the Jamaican Professional League right now. And while a lot of these players have come from England and from MLS, there are still that next generation, a lot of them still playing for the likes of Tivoli Gardens and Arnott Gardens in Jamaica. Hard challenge. Play on, says the referee. Deflected away by Martinez, and tracking it down on the near side is Lima. Trying to keep it in play, but the chalk line moved, and out for a Jamaican throw.
Well, Uruguay seems to be having trouble doing the simplest of things on this field, such as the pass we just saw missed.
Long throw in from Fabian Davis.
And this could be, you know, this could be a product of
Williams, but offside again.
that the lineup brought out by Carrasco, the coach of Uruguay, has 7 offensive players and only 3 players who are built for defending. 4 if you include the goalkeeper. So when they don't have the ball, they sort of have trouble. Now they're doing okay when they get past midfield. And when it comes back in the other direction, they don't have the numbers, nor the skill, nor the placement to defend against Jamaica, which is controlling the play right now.
25 minutes left to go in half number 1. Forlan, see, he's got to drop all the way back to the midfield to try and get it. How many times have we seen Forlan or Chevanton, let alone Zalayeta, actually touch the ball with more than a yard of space? Not many. Oh, nice work in tight space through the triple team. Fuller finally knocked to the turf. Play on, says Gordon. He was not liking the histrionics of Fuller. Stepping forward, Melo. Problem was the Chevanton attack was retreating.
Well, Fuller was doing that for his ego, for the crowd. At midfield, he had 4 men on him. He kept it quite long and inflaming the crowd. But in the end, he lost the ball.
Well, but in my mind, I still miss that in the modern game. Even Brazil does not do that as much as they used to. Williams touching it forward again, trying to split the defense, but Melo and Lima combine. And back to Munua.
I wonder if the absence of Lopez is going to be determining.
Well, I think the absence of Sosa in being
Filter.
replaced by Nunez, because what that does is Martinez, especially the way, as you pointed out, the 3 men in the back are having problems right now. That's forcing Martinez to stay deeper. And Nunez is not the playmaker that Martinez is. And there's a huge gap between Martinez and Nunez, and then Oliveira and Ligueira. Not to mention Zalayeta, Forlan, and Chevanton, who might as well have stayed on the bus.
Yeah. Well, Chevanton's looking for somebody to play with. And what you're seeing is Micah Hyde and especially Andy Williams taking advantage of the space between the midfield line and the back line of Uruguay.
Nearing the midway point of half number 1, the 10th minute goal from Onandi Low. The free kick might have been slightly deflected, but I think it was more, as you pointed out, Munua being unsighted. Problem with Stewart being pressured and elects to play it safe, although I hope he's got a rather low deductible. Ball crossed into the middle. It could have been an equalizer, cleared away by Marshall. Martinez touched to the far side. Ligueira tracking it down. Tempts the defense, keeps it alive to Martinez. Chip into the middle. Chance for Oliveira. Oliveira eludes one. Oliveira at the top of the box on the right foot. Give and go. And Ricketts off of his line to grab it about 7 yards out.
Nice idea. Zalayeta kept his foot, gave Oliveira a target, gave him the return pass with the outside of the foot, but Donovan Ricketts read it well, came out and picked up the ball.
All the way downfield for Lowe, who again leaves a body in his wake. Curbelo, the player this time, the Phoenix defender. And again,
now,
when you take a look at
well, by the way, here you're seeing Elneny Lowe starting to lose his patience with the referee. And that could be a factor later.
Ball forward to Oliveira, who drops back. Remember, with Uruguay, it basically used to be Peñarol and Nacional, and maybe the occasional Defensor of the Danubio. Stepping in nicely to steal it away was Garfield Reed. Reed still now drops it back. Langley, Williams, Langley. Pass off target, and here comes Diego Forlan, chipping it to the back post. Chevanton wide open, slide tackle and a beauty, knocks it wide. That should have been the equalizer, but coming back was Langley to save the day.
Yeah, as Uruguay started the counterattack, Langley then hustled back and blocked the shot by Chevanton.
More chances Top of the box looking for Oliveira. Here's Martinez. Switches over to the right side. Ligueira touches forward. Zalayeta challenged, and it's knocked aside. A little erratic was Claude Davis. And by the way, I think that's our first corner of the game for Uruguay.
I think so. It's been a bit of a, other than a spark here or there by Andy Williams, it's been a bit of a mediocre affair so far, but I think it'll pick up in intensity as Uruguay gets its bearings.
Cross top of the 6, Ricketts leaves it. Here comes Andy Williams. Forlan showing some wheels. Throw in Uruguay right in front of the bench, and you can see Carrasco.
I don't know why Ricketts felt he had to come out to get that one.
Well, this way, if you are going to come
Brown's
out,
blood pressure just went up 10 points. Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying if you're going to come out, you better get it.
absolutely. Even if you're just going to punch it, instead it went right through the wickets of Ricketts.
I think they should pressure right here Damian Stewart, because Damian's a little bit not as good on the ball.
Headed down for Fuller. Melo under pressure, almost stolen away. I have a feeling that we're going to see Jamaica steal one of those on the turn. They're a little quicker, I think, than that three-man back line of Uruguay realizes. But I would tend to agree. I think pressuring Stewart and taking a lot of shots, even from midfield on Ricketts, probably would not be a bad idea. Put him under pressure.
You see Ricketts, of course, is one of the goalkeepers with Aaron Lawrence for Jamaica. See what's up here.
Apparently the game's going too slow. Carrasco's got someplace to go after. Ball in the center circle. Martinez lifts it to the far side. Chevanton needs to come all the way back to win it. Deflected. Chevanton grabs hold again.
I think Chevanton will be more comfortable playing on this side, on the near side. There's more space, but he's got right here Nunez.
Nunez. Forlan. Stewart out. Forlan on the turn. Looked like there was a foul to be called. Gordon brings the arm down, however. Forlan, pass off Oliveira. Still under control, Nunez. Chipping it in, back post. Ricketts lets it run.
See how Chevanton came to this side to look for the ball, and then he found himself fighting for the ball with Nunez. And I think Carrasco's got to spot that. Chevanton, his best player, is looking for some space. Forlan also. Forlan decided to come back to midfield.
Long on the far side. Onandilo has been relatively quiet of late. Latest FIFA rankings coming out today. Jamaica dropping to 48th, just ahead of Zimbabwe, just behind Jordan, while Uruguay 22nd behind Nigeria and in front of South Korea. The U.S. still holding at number 11.
Mexico number 5.
Up a couple as Mexico, the big mover in the top 25.
I'm not sure what that's due to, because maybe the under 23 performance.
But that shouldn't count in this.
I don't know then.
Nigeria, the real big mover.
Because, well, they were in the African Nations Cup.
You know, they moved up from 35th to 21st.
But Morocco should be the big mover. I mean, Tunisia, sorry.
Good point. I'm talking more about the top of the table. But Brazil, France, then Spain, the Netherlands, and then Mexico rounding out the top 5.
I'm not sure how much credence to put in this bid.
It's always worth a debate.
By the way, Mexico
ball
number 5.
in front, an awkward clearance. Fuller down, bobbles, does Ricketts. And you could almost see Zalayeta. The eyes getting as big as saucers when Ricketts left this one loose.
4 guys in the back line, and then as soon as I think it was Davis who hit it. No, it was number 14. It was Tyrone who miskicked it. Tyrone Marshall. And the rest of his teammates stopped moving. They giving Zalayeta the chance to come in. He's at Perugia now, Zalayeta.
Ball headed back. No problem for Munwa. Tunisia also up 14, by the way. as they're in 31st place. Nigeria actually 14 places for finishing third.
Speaking of Tunisia, Francileudo dos Santos, remember him from Sochaux? He was one of their stars, and he was brought, of course, he's been playing very well for Sochaux in the UEFA Cup. They knocked out Dortmund, match you saw here on Goal TV. He was the star of Tunisia's championship performance, along with Clayton, another Brazilian playing for Roger Lemaire's team. Phil, we get all kinds of calls from Africans wanting to see tournaments and their goals. We have them here in the news department.
And also a todo gol every weekend. Foul called and a free kick upcoming. Uruguay has not really been a lot of fouls in this match. Unofficially, only about 7 right now, as we are now through 30 minutes. Not a lot of control as Nunez turns and clears to Forlan. Forlan getting a nice friendly reminder of Fabian Davis's presence.
I thought maybe after the head banging by Lowe and Munua, the match would turn ugly, but it hasn't.
Chevanton, top of the 18, gets another chance on the left-footed blast. A laser bolts just over the bar.
Chevanton, of course, we said, hey, take a look. He's telling Oliveira, watch, come back, follow up. I'm trying to give you a pass back. And then Chevanton gets the ball back, and he decides to strike it very close. Chevanton, as you see, his left foot not his favorite, but he's a cobra on either side of the field.
And the one thing is, he's got a nose for goal. Not the fastest, not the fleetest, not the quickest of play, but he'll always go for goal. Fuller's trying to stick a boot in. Deflected away. Looks like a foul will be called.
Fuller is very quick with the ball at his feet. His problem seems to be reading the play. You saw it seemed like they were giving the pass, and then he took off a little late.
And you could see, looked like it might have been Hyde pushing up in the middle with Lowe at the back post. A nice tackle. Marshall wins it back. Williams as Martinez knock it away, and here's Carrasco. Not a deep bench. You can see only 4 players. Herman Ornos, Barbat, the backup keeper, Stoyanov and Correa. Of course, they had been hoping to have Recoba, Lopez, and was it Pato as well. But all 3 of those, not to mention Guigou, all 4 of those, for one reason or another, dropping out at the last moment.
And Herman Ornos also of Sevilla.
33rd minute. Liguero with a whiff.
On the national team also, Christian Rodriguez from Peñarol. That young kid, left footer, fullback for Uruguay, worth watching.
Still Jamaica holding on as Williams picking himself up slowly. A bending cross from Anandi Lowe, cleared away from Melo. Langley coming in with the elbows flying and the whistle blows, and here comes Uruguay the other way.
It's interesting that as big and bad as Andy Lowe is, he prefers to play out on the flank.
Well, he likes to play out on the flank, get lost, and then come into the middle. But you're right.
Swoop in.
One of the reasons in many ways he's not playing at a bigger club. One of the reasons also why Dion Burton knocked him out of that position on the national team. Ball chipped in from Nunez. Zalayeta still loose. Is it going to be a penalty?
I can't believe it. Penalty.
And it will be.
This is one of those lacks of concentration right here.
The ball lifted up, but the hands right in front of the chest. One of those reasons, again, why I disagree totally, but one of the reasons also I see so many defenders come by with hands behind their back because of referees like Ted Gordon. But the rule number 1 is if your hands are not there, will it hit another part of your body, basically? And in that case, yes, he's just protecting himself. Hands are right next to the body, and that should not have been called. But regardless, Ted Gordon points to the spot and a chance to tie it up for Chevanton. A little bit of gamesmanship from Claude Davis. Similar from Stewart, and Chevanton unimpressed. Ricketts, about 6'3", spreading out on his line. Chevanton shot, saved! Rebound, loose, far side, cleared away, and a deserved save off the penalty. It's still a lead for Jamaica.
Claude Davis picks up the loose ball, but Chevanton sends it right up the middle. Donovan's a big boy. And of course it was sent not high enough, I think. If he's gonna dive, that was sent around chest level. Chevanton missed really the penalty, not well taken. You'd expect a bit more from him. He's got 11 goals in Serie A for Lecce.
Well, Donovan Ricketts, who plays for Village United, his nickname is Tallest, and a deserved acronym right there as you take a look. Actually had to reach back with those long arms and batted wide, but not the best finish. You almost wonder, and if this was a real game, you wouldn't wonder because you know what type of player Chevanton is, but you almost wonder whether Chevanton was trying to even things out after a horrid penalty call.
I don't think so. I think Chevanton, he wants to go. He doesn't care how he gets it, whether it's fair or not fair. Good call or bad call by the referee.
Second corner of the game for Jamaica. By the way, that was the first shot on goal.
That would be, by the way, a very, very developed sense of fair play, almost like Mother Teresa type.
Sepp Blatter already has the award ready with his name on it, I guess. Corner kick. See if they play it short to Williams. Instead, bending ball, front six, cleared away. Would have been a dangerous one if someone would have actually made the run.
Yeah. Well, why are they doing this short corner thing and not...
Now, I think normally a lot of times you do that to try and draw an extra defender out. Now they do it. Williams tries to cross it, deflected. They'll try it again. Fourth corner, third in a row. Normally you'll put that second guy out there to try and draw one more defender, to try and open one more attacker. Here they go again, short corner, bending ball towards the back post, but it lofts in the air and an easy play for Gustavo Munua. Rifles it out. Back heel try from Forlan, stolen away. Nicely by Damian Stewart. Munua sweeps it away. A little bit of a risky play from the normally sure-handed and footed Gustavo Munua. Been an entertaining affair, if somewhat reckless. More a demolition derby than perhaps the Grand Prix. Another foul.
I don't know what they called Damian Stewart for.
Bad hair? Well, Stewart's tempting fate with Zalaeta right now. Damian Stewart getting one of his first caps. They are lacking defensively, so if he has a good performance here against the likes of Chevanton and Diego Forlan, he might be a regular. Not sure, but I think
Stewart under special surveillance by camera 5. I'm not sure why.
Maybe they're checking see if he gets Zalaeta's wallet. Ball cleared away.
By the way, when you wear a haircut like that, you are definitely under suspicion.
Ball touched in front, Langley. Here they come, 4-on-4 if they hurry. Deflected to the far side. Williams thinking about running. Got a late start. Looked like it might have deflected off an Uruguayan defender, but instead it will be a throw-in for Los Celestes.
Well, Jamaica didn't seem to have its mind made up whether they were going to go on the counterattack or not.
4-on-4, it should be automatic.
Yeah, well, by the time they finished thinking about it, that's it. Ball was out of play.
On the far side, Garfield Reed dances around the challenge of Martinez, moves past Curbelo, and now Melo coming over. And there again we go. That's discipline of thought in that regard.
Garfield playing for player of Rivoli United. Rolled over the first defender, got around the second, and then just pounded that cross into the hills of Kingston, I guess.
Can you believe that Uruguay, even without Recoba and Lopez, are being controlled by Jamaica right now? Headed back calmly by Davis.
I think Carrasco may want to take out Richard Nunez, maybe bring in Correa,
Stoyanov. Stoyanov.
I think the team is unbalanced. He's got 3 guys up front who are not getting any balls.
And you're right in that regard. Perhaps as you take a look, in Oliveira or Zalaeta comes out for Stoyanov.
And they're going right over the midfield.
Knocked aside, Brown. '40th minute. A little over 5 to go. Nunez.
Here's a funnel in.
Well, apparently Nunez playing the wall pass off of Tyrone Marshall. Nice control by Liguera. Forlan turns, shot. One hop into the arms of Ricketts, who handled it with ease.
Bounces it off the chest of Andy Williams. What is he calling?
Maybe another handball. 7th foul against Jamaica. Ball deflected in front. Zalieta makes the run. Will he call another penalty? This one looks like it will go against Zalieta. Ted Gordon, after a rather calm, clean, and understandable first 25 minutes, I'm not sure, but I think the Prozac might have worn off.
Between Melo and Lima, they're trying to control Nandi Low.
Another foul. Uruguay trying to start a little too far afield. Well, regardless, even if Uruguay comes back to win this, I think Jamaica has earned some respect for this first half, at least on their natural ability. And if they can play a more disciplined second half, counterattacks are going to be there, and they might even get a second. We're seeing signs of it here. Jamaica pushing forward.
Langley.
Davis shot. Langley, and denied by Munua.
What a shot. Munua got to that one. That one had a destination of that upper right corner right here as he gets 5 yards, takes a 40-yard cracker, and Munua gets one hand to it. Garfield Reed, I think it was, who took it. Yeah, Munua got there, but took no chances with it. Good work by Garfield Reed.
Ball crossed back post and knocked aside. Onandi Low getting some attention from Oliveira.
Well, Jamaica has it's 5 corners, and they've tried this short 2-touch thing on in 2 occasions. They have not been able to get it into the area. Maybe he's trying to try something else.
But again, you can see they are sending extra defenders over. And when you think about it, you start pushing forward players like Stewart. You already have Onandi Low. It doesn't take too much space to get a great crack on goal. Let's see what happens. Trying it again, near post, headed clear, top of the box, open shot. Nice save, rebound, and cleared away. Whistle finally blows, but will it be another corner? Munua saying it should have been a foul, and it looks like it will be. Dangerous play. Watch this.
Headed out, into the middle and down. It hit somebody on the way. Munua got down to it.
I think that was Hyde who takes the shot at the top of the box.
Wow, that's a tough ball to bring down because he took something off of it to keep it low, and Munua got down in a hurry.
And Corbello was there, and that was the foul because I'm not sure who it was. They were Stewart, but they came in cleats up on Corbello. Another foul.
Phil, surprise, surprise, Munua keeping Uruguay in the match.
Who would have thunk it? 43rd minute, couple minutes left to go. But again,
I'd say take him out. Sarayeta. He is so listless.
Well, they might not have a choice now. Ted Gordon coming over to take a look.
That's it for Sarayeta today. It looks like a muscle pull in the upper leg.
Claude Davis
landing
right
knee.
on him.
I think he got the knee caught underneath him.
You know what? It looks like it might have released, hopefully in his case, in time for it to avoid serious injury, but that one stings.
The left knee.
And that with the weight of Claude Davis landing right on top of him. Look at the office. It's packed.
I'm I'm actually concerned because Salayeta looks like, I think he may have done some damage on that play right there.
Well, we'll see again, but the leg did release, but then again, the ligaments might have popped before it did. One of the dangers with cleats, even with the grass, I mean, it's not always AstroTurf's fault. Foul against Uruguay. This might be Andy Williams' territory. We've already seen Orlando Lowe score one, although that was about 10 yards further back. Martinez coming in.
That's a foul from behind.
That's a kidney. Fuller doing a nice job holding the pressure off.
Trying to ride Fuller down.
Williams even more dangerous. This was about 5 yards closer, but he's more of a placement free kicker than a powerful one. When Munua realizes, and this time he is going to set the wall. Remember the problem from a 40-yard kick by Orlando Lowe in the 10th minute. This one about 32, 33 yards out. There's Lowe, the big number 31.
Look at the smile Andy Williams is giving them. Saying, yeah, I'm going to take this one.
Well, let's see. Williams can always outrun Onandi in the parking lot after the game. See who's psychic. Williams, Lowe, Lowe, Lowe. Slams off. Williams tracks down the loose ball. Into injury time we go. Still loose top of the box. Langley dispossessed. Forlan back on defense. Scarfield Reed tries to cross, deflected out. Actually off target again.
Jamaica keeps coming forward. They're going to put one of these in. Even if 1 out of 3 is on target. Just by sheer numbers. They're going to beat Munua on one of these occasions.
Whistle blows. Looked like it might have been kept in play, but not in time. And as you see, it is Ornos coming in. Zalayeta is out.
Ornos plays for Sevilla.
More of an opportunistic player than Zalayeta, who seems to rely more on the God-given ability. And he could not find a way through that Jamaican defense, and perhaps Ornos' determination might play a role in the second half. A little surprised again that they went with him more than Stoyanov. I think Stoyanov could have spread the game a little bit more. Ball stolen away by Jamaica in the midfield. Fuller getting a little bit of help. Whistle blows as Martinez with the 8th foul of the game. Both players collide and both players down.
I can't figure out that Chevantono Lima picked up the yellow.
I believe both teams will have that 5 substitution limit. But remember, Uruguay, because of all of their defections, only has 3 field players on the bench. And they've already used one of them. Coming out briefly because they had to stop the clock is Fuller.
Let's see here. So Fuller gets called for a foul, no card, I guess, huh?
They're the substitute. Ornos coming in, Zalayeta going out.
First touch of the ball, Ornos loses it.
Just trying to fit into the team effort today. Forlan, look how deep he is. He's 5 yards from midfield. Gets it off the give and go. Bending ball, but again right into the gut of Ricketts. 6th shot of the game for Uruguay.
Forlan couldn't get much behind that shot.
Whistle blows and the half comes to a close. 1-0 for Jamaica on the 10th minute. Free kick by Onandi Lowe. Can you believe it? Uruguay trailing in Kingston as Andy Williams in the background. Ted Gordon set to blow the whistle.
Looks like he took off Forlan.
Looks like it might be a story enough for Forlan.
I think Oliveira would be the man to come off, not Forlan.
Unless maybe it was part of the deal to get Forlan back from Alex Ferguson.
Champions League action in midweek.
He was probably hoping he would have Recoba and Piojo when he said yes to Sir Alex. Didn't quite work out that way. Correa out there as well. On Andy Lowe, trying to force it through a triple team. A lot more defensive look to this lineup here in the early going. Low, the turning shot. Barbat with an early look. Correa coming in for Forlan in the 46th minute.
Interesting combination here.
And Chevanton denied at the wire.
Chevanton followed by Richard Langley at the back.
And you see Correa. Ball crossed in off the corner. High into the air off of Marshall. And Ricketts out to grab it. Throws it out, and here's Williams with space. Williams, low. Passing it forward, nice run, but well read by Barbat, and no chance for Langley. Well, let's see if we can try and catch us up to date. It's still Ricketts in goal for Jamaica. Do not appear to be any changes to the Jamaican lineup. Fabian Davis, Stewart, Craig Davis, and Reed the back line. Marshall, Langley, Hyde, and Williams the midfield. Fuller the link to Anandi Lowe, who's really the only front runner. Although it looks like Fuller, as you see here in the center circle, pushing a little more as a forward. Miscontrol, and again, still out there is Nunez. Anandi Lowe against Martinez. Anandi Lowe against Nunez. Anandi Lowe against Lima.
Look, you know, I get the impression Andy cares not of who's marking him. He's just staring down at the ball.
Fuller on the turn, onside shot, just skims wide of the post. Oh, so close to goal number 2.
Well, Ricardo Fuller, the Preston North End, number 10 right here, plays it to the far post. Good work. Now, Barbat, all he can do is watch it once it's by. Barbat, I thought he let it go by thinking it was way wide, but experience is going to prove him wiser now because he realizes Fuller had a better beat on that ball than Barbat did.
Long to the far side, Correa giving chase.
Barbat treated that shot like it was going way wide, but it was quite close, actually.
Throw in just shy of the flag. This could be a problem. There's a good chance for Melo. Keeps it alive, far side. Nunez deflected in front for Chevanton. Davis runs in. Marshall tries to clear. Finally cleared by Davis. Jamaica on borrowed time at the moment. Foul against Williams. Nunez pushing it forward. Ornos.
By the way, you have yet to see Uruguay switch the point of attack. Everything seems to be, everybody, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on our camera on the left side of attack. Martinez, defensive, were intercepted that ball, but nobody seems to, Uruguay seems to be playing Jamaica's game right, is my opinion.
Take a look. And not a very happy camper is Juan Ramon. Good control. Ornos flipping it to the far side. Correa dropping it back. Ball back for Ornos. Correa, Ornos still loose. Stepping forward to knock it wide was Stewart. Controlling on the far side is Langley. Langley with help. Stolen away nicely by Martinez. Martinez, Liguera. Liguera run over. Martinez chopped down. Whistle still in the hand of Gordon. Flying forward was Fabian Davis. Now it's Williams onside. Can Fuller keep it in play? Fuller, far flank. Lima over. Fuller, back post, headed down. Williams, low, great shot, but a brilliant stop by Barbat. And what might be the best play of the game for Jamaica, but denied at the doorstep.
Ricardo Fuller got the cross in. He found Andy Williams. I thought Williams was going to chest it and shoot it. However, he decided he preferred to head it to Anandi. Anandi turned on it. Look at this one right here. Anandi stops. He's telling Andy Williams, get it down. And then it comes to Anandi eventually off a defender. Looked to be Melo as Curbelo tries to close in on him. Anandi giving him some space to turn on that ball.
Still, as we said, might be the best play of the game. On the other side, Uruguay just sending the shot screaming wide. Their first shot of the second half. And as we take a look, it was Chevanton lifting it forward. Ornos, the back heel.
Liguera with the shot, I think.
Liguera, the left foot, and that is his weakness. It should have been. Liguera, with Ornos out there, seems to be pushing a little bit more to the center of the park. Chevanton all the way back into the midfield. Good work with Williams, passing it off to Langley. Stolen away by Melo. Melo flips to the far side, Correa. Correa with Marshall in front of him. The Galaxy defender, nothing to worry about. Look at...
Sometimes I wonder in which direction is Jamaica playing.
Hyde coming all the way back. Looks like a player might be down.
Oh, yeah, okay. Now I am.
Looks like it might be Garfield Reed. Garfield Reed, who has been doing a good job controlling Liguera in the first half. Doesn't look like cramping or anything. Looks like he might have been hit. Runs into Oliveira. And Oliveira follows up. You can almost see the elbow as they ran off the screen, raking across the face. Looks like Garfield Reed will be okay. Reed back and okay. And you can kind of see Oliveira, not really one known to lose his cool too often, but starting to see what a 1-0 scoreline can do for 35, 45 minutes.
I think the press in Uruguay is going to have a field day. When if Carrasco loses, supposedly with an offensive formation, 1-0 against Jamaica.
And they have had more defensive woes than that goal. In fact, Jamaica probably should have 2 more goals in the second half already. Ball cleared all the way. Giving chase Melo. They'll let it run. Fifth minute coming up. Here another chance. Fuller to the far side. Davis. And if they would have been able to cross any better today,
you know what?
From Reed on one side, Davis on the other, this would be a wipeout.
Well, here's what I like about this. It seems, for Jamaica at least, it seems to be a formula. Fuller wide, get the ball open, find this space. Watch out.
In front, Chevanton. Ricketts out to make the save. Ornos picks up the loose ball, brings it to his left, but the danger is done. And again, Ricketts controlling his 18-yard box, awkwardly but effectively. Liguera playing the playmaker out to the near side for Chevanton. 11 goals in Serie A, but he won't get one here.
Well, Uruguay looks, they're coming forward, but they still look like they don't quite have a handle on the ball. So... getting a little bit tired. But what I was mentioning is that Jamaica seems to be opening up on the right flank with Fuller once and the other time with the crossing, and there's Ricketts.
Don't forget Andy Williams with some of his dances on the far side. The Reggae Nation is waking up at the moment, and Uruguay are in danger of losing this game and being embarrassed in the process. They've had a few decent chances thanks to Chevanton offside. First of the game against Uruguay, which kind of goes to show how aggressive their offense has been. That one probably wasn't offside.
Questionable call.
Johan Thoburn raising the flag regardless. A little bit of home cooking by the Jamaican linesman. Barbat in goal, replacing Munua at the break. Curbelo, Melo, and Lima still out there. Martinez and Nunez, Oliveira and Ligueira the midfield, and Ornos replacing Zaleeta, Correa replacing Forlan, and Chevanton still out there. So 3 substitutes already used, and only a Stoyanov. And you have to figure that with that being his last substitute, Carrasco's going to have to wait until maybe 10 minutes left just to see if someone gets injured.
Yeah, he doesn't have any more cards in the deck. And there it is. Fabian Stoyanov brings speed, but this is not a huge field. So it's not a field where if you open it up, it's going to generate friction between the players because they're in close proximity.
Langley dropping it back. Here's Hyde. Here's Williams. Williams a little sloppy, but comes back to try and win it. The foul, I think, actually might have been on Lowe beforehand. 12th foul of the game, and here comes Stoyanov getting set to come in. Who do you take out? Maybe Cheva or Oliveira?
Oliveira.
You leave Chevanton out there for 90 minutes then.
You brought him. You've got a point, though.
Hyde, nice turn through the stripe. Pass to Reed. Reed to Lowe. Chests it down. Williams brings it down. Williams very good at shielding the body. Through ball. Good chance here. Fuller chips into the middle for over Barbat, but cleared away by Curbelo, and it is a shooting gallery right now.
Nobody in the middle for Jamaica. When you see Fuller...
Hyde, Barbat.
When you see Fuller go down to the end line, his teammates have got to move up and sprint into that box. I mean, and of course they're coming in on the right side, which is where Jamaica is attacking. He's able to penetrate.
Ligueira playing in the middle seems to have made Uruguay a little bit more dangerous offensively here in half number 2. But the defensive woes continue.
Chevanton will come off.
Now, do you slide Oliveira into the middle as an out-and-out forward and leave Stoyanov on the flank? Or do you just basically push Ornos as the lone center forward and have Stoyanov kind of bookend Correa on the other side? Nunez.
I think what you got to do is, you see Oliveira, he doesn't want to move up. You need to open up the field, and Stoyanov allows you to do that.
Lola. Cross into the middle from Oliveira, and a desperate lunge it wide off the boot of Davis and out for the corner. One of the only middle names from Uruguay. He's got a little bit of uniqueness, does Fabian Stoyanov. Ball in front, all the way through the 6 to the near side and out. You know what his middle name is?
No.
Mo, Curly, and...
Shemp?
No. Larry. Fabian Larry Stoyanov. Sounds like he should be selling brushes door to door, but he's not a bad forward and very versatile attacker for Peñarol. I would not be surprised if within a year or so he is plying his trade in Europe.
By the way, if we ever get a Shemp on this podcast, I wouldn't be surprised if we have to shut down the office. Well, Ricketts gets the first yellow card, and it's for time wasting. He's had plenty of headbanging in the box.
60th minute yellow card.
But it's the first yellow of the match.
So a 57th minute substitute with Stoyanov entering the game for Chevanton. Stoyanov, 21 years of age, 5'8", 147 pounds, had played at Phoenix. Notice a trend here? Before moving on to Peñarol. Here another chance. Stoyanov, but pressured from behind and cleared away for another corner kick. Third of the half, fourth of the game.
Stoyanov got through.
Looks like they're going to call a goal kick. I think Stoyanov has an argument.
Well,
Johan Thoborn
Stoyanov's quite sure about it.
On the near side, and as we take a look, poor header from Davis right to the path of Stoyanov, and it did look as though Reed might have gotten a boot to it. Martinez can't control everything. Hyde, Nandi low, but the whistle blows, and the third offside of the match against Jamaica.
Might be the weather, but to me, both national teams look slow afoot tonight. We just saw Andy Lowe, of course. He's a big boy. He lumbers a bit more.
Off target for Stoyanov and out. Less than 30 minutes to go. Jamaica still playing its starters. Craig Ziadi out of the Metro Stars. Damani Ralph, the Chicago Fire star rookie. Both available should Carl Brown elect to use them. Jermaine Johnson, Cornell Chinsu, and Michael Johnson, along with defender Gerald Neal, also on the bench. But this, as we said, is a big game for Jamaica. And in many ways, this is about as good a test as you're going to get before CONCACAF qualifying. Poor clearance, but a poor touch again from Nunez. He'll go the 90 minutes as well.
Well, before mid-June, there's still plenty of time, 4 months.
Lowe trying to chip it in, but bangs it off of Melo and out for the throw-in.
I mean, Carl Brown's got to worry about his team peaking at this point, maybe going in 4 months out. And I don't think he will have his players to work him week in, week out. So you have to be careful how much importance you place on the result this far out.
Garfield Reed. Fuller getting a little frustrated with Melo's attentions.
James deteriorated a little bit.
And our first substitutes getting set. It looks like Craig Ziadi and Cornel Chinsu getting set.
So it'll be
Hyde is out.
Chinsu coming in for Hyde.
And it will be Langley also coming out. Chinsu, Chaps Chinsu, the 27-year-old midfielder out of Arnott Gardens. And as we said, Ziadi, one of the motors of the Metro Stars. Chinsu, somewhat of an enforcer. Let's see if he can provide a little bit of help. As Stoyanov almost catches up with that one.
Well, I think Chinsu will be brought in to hold on to this result.
Meanwhile, Craig Ziadi with the nickname of Cafu. I'm sure if he was playing like Cafu, DC United never would have let him go. But he had played very well for Bob Bradley and the Metro Stars in a utility role this past year. Ball to the near side, and Oliveira. Stoyanov.
Stoyanov coming back, gets fouled by Andy Williams.
Williams.
I wouldn't want Williams coming back too far, by the way.
Stoyanov.
Great player from midfield up. I just wouldn't ask him to do defensive duties. If he steals the ball, he's liable to try another nutmeg or back heel in the defensive end.
Andy Williams a legacy. His dad, part of the Jamaican national team history. Also, young star growing up that, in all honesty, has not quite developed. He had the mantle handed to him in 1998, but couldn't really do much with it. Seems, though, as though he has matured over the last few years and might be ready to lead Jamaica back to the World Cup.
Well, maybe he didn't have that fire in him because his father, Bobby Williams, was a national team player, but Andy liked to play tennis, and you know, and he didn't need the sport to come out of poverty in Jamaica. And you can tell there's a certain sort of insouciance about Andy all the time. You know, as talented as he is on the field, sort of like a devil-may-care. If I play, great. If I don't play, I got something else to do.
Another challenge. That's going to be a foul and a yellow card. It looks like Davis will go on the books. 66th minute yellow card, second of the game. Claude Davis in the books.
So Claude comes out.
And you talked about that insouciance. I guess it also leads a little bit to a little lack of affection from coaches in many ways. And when you take a look, played for a couple of clubs in Jamaica, and he's already on his 5th or 6th MLS team. Ball crossed in. Looked like it might have found the mark, but still loose over Ordinas. As Stoyanov tries to cross, and now here comes Onandi Low, chopped down. Well, physical defense, and it works by Melo and Lima. Ball out to the far side, a Stoyanov shot, deflected away. Chinsu pushing it forward, Low chopped down, and this time it will be a foul, and he's getting up in the face of the referee, Ted Gordon. That's one of the dangers. If you're a big player, sometimes referees don't protect you as much as they might the diminutive ones. Ziadi knocked down, play on. Perfect example. Hard challenge on the far side by Stewart, and you can start to sense the intensity level picking up midway through the second half.
Yeah, there was about a 25 to 30 minute lull in the middle of this match. Now it's picking up again.
As Stoyanov staying on the left. Now Correa not quite ready, and here comes the charge. Onandi Low in the middle as Fuller tries to cut to the middle, and again, I've been really impressed with Melo. I think Lima has been beaten a few times down the left side, Cordobello down the right, but when they have been, 99% of the time, Melo's been there with the broom.
Melo comes over to sweep up behind him.
Throw in on the near side. Back to Reed. High cross all the way for Low to track it down. Low trying to keep it in play, does. Low trying to turn around the defense, brings it back, and that rings a round of applause. Chinsu, Ziadi, and the shot probably should have been better.
Jamaica can come in at will on the left side of Uruguay's defense. You saw Andy Lowe right there pulling a couple moves as the ball was crossed from one side to the other.
A couple of more subs. Jermaine Johnson and Damani Ralph getting set to check in, and it's Andy Williams leaving and Damani Ralph coming in. One fire for another. And Johnson coming in for Fuller, so the entire attack sans Onandi Low has now been replaced. '70th minute subs, Ralph for Williams, Johnson for Fuller. On the far side, throw in for Jamaica. Jermaine Johnson, another one of those young projects who is now turning 23, so a chance to perhaps make his mark. Stripped away. Hard challenge again, Ziadi.
At this point,
A nice chance here, all the way over to Correa. Ball dropped back into the middle.
At this point, I like to see Uruguay take some long-distance shots because they're certainly not able to get to the goal with Donovan Ricketts. And this is supposedly an offensive team built for offense, which is like a bird who cannot fly. Then what is it doing and what's its purpose? Because Uruguay can't defend and it's not attacking.
Goal live at goaltv.tv. Our email address, 866-MIGOLTV, is our call center number. Nestor from Ashburnham, Massachusetts, sending in a note, wanting to find out why Carrasco hasn't called in Carini or another goalkeeper. And in all honesty, I don't know if you can really blame Muna for the goal he allowed. And if it wasn't for Luis Barbat, it would probably be 2-0 already, as he made a couple of brilliant stops.
Barbat and Munua also.
True.
Finding a couple of shots, pulling him out of the corner.
Here comes Nunez.
Oh, yeah. Uruguay, everything comes up the middle.
Martinez. Correa, the shot deflected, and again, another nice tackle from Tyrone Marshall. The Galaxy back, pushed into a defensive midfield role, and he's making it his own here today.
Uruguay can't find the formula about
offside of the call.
For how to attack Jamaica. The most vivacious player, Trevanton, is off the field to be delivered back to the Serie A. He's offside right there.
Second offside of the game against Uruguay. Johan Thoburn has raised his flag a couple of times for clearance by Ricketts that were questionable in this game. That one, no doubt. Stoyanov takes a cleat. 15th foul against Jamaica. Ornos in the middle has not had a touch of late. Correa, by the way, back to the left and Stoyanov back to the right. Nunez dancing around in a closed room. Fabian Davis slams the door on him and gets whistled for the foul. Stoyanov a little shaken up. Ball in front, dangerous. Headed clear by Davis, still loose and chipped above the bar. And since all of these substitutions, Jamaica a little erratic and have not really been able to get a flow, and Uruguay trying to take advantage.
Well, it's been a game which has been in spurts. Right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 7 Jamaican defenders. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 Uruguayans attacking, and still cleared out by the Jamaicans. One of the things is I think Carrasco is getting ready to suit up himself because they cannot find any openings up front.
Stoyanov crosses, Stewart bats it wide, another corner kick. Tyrone Marshall helped the Galaxy to a championship a couple of years ago. This one headed above the bar. Ornos just moving over to Sevilla after time with Phoenix.
Well, that Phoenix is, of course, Carrasco's old club, and he's trying to recreate the magic that took him to Copa Libertadores. But I don't see Uruguay having a good game at all.
Again, in my mind, even though he might not be the star, Marcelo Sosa, assuming that he would not have gotten a red card in the 30th minute, might have been the difference, because it would have allowed Martinez to push a little bit more forward and perhaps given a little bit more composure to the back line, which was under attack for the first half. Ball in front by Correa. Liguera runs. Nice long legs from Claude Davis, reaches back and picks up the ball and then promptly sends it back. Martinez, quick touch at the top of the box from Liguera. Off towards Hornos, but cleared away, and Oliveira tracks it down.
Hornos stopped running for that ball as soon as he felt the hand on the chest from the defender.
I think it's almost time to replace Andy Lowe right now. They need someone that'll be a little bit more aggressive up front. Correa in front. Hornos runs over. Dangerous chance here. Reed trying to turn. As Stoyanov tries to sweep it away, and well worked, although a little recklessly perhaps, by the left back for Jamaica. And Andy Lowe just has nothing left in the tank right now. They still have Michael Johnson and Gerald Neal. Ball forward. Could have been a foul just outside the arc. No call. Wouldn't mind seeing Damani Ralph perhaps push up into an attacking role. Look at the speed.
Watch this raid by Johnson up the middle. And now Jamaica's going to break down into individual actions like that, and that's going to play into Uruguay's plans.
A foul. And we'll have our third yellow card. Jermaine Johnson going in the book. 77th minute yellow. Are you surprised by the result? I mean, there have been some surprise today. We talked about Wales and...
Well, I think it's an evidence more of Uruguayan ineptness. I mean, and Jamaica had their chances, and they blew a few too. But had Uruguay been able to play their game, they might be able to tie this still. But they just can't seem to arrive at the opposing goal. And their only chance, real good chance, was a penalty which was given to them.
And which was saved.
Can you recall a better chance for Uruguay than that? Any clear chances?
Well, I mean, there were a couple that were gifts by Ricketts, but he's more than made up for that. Nice through ball, good idea. Looking for Chinsu. Marshall, soft touch. Chinsu. Ball pushed to the outside and crossed back in by Davis. Damani Ralph challenging and cleared away. Garfield Reed making the highlight reel. Low, turn, shot. Well, maybe that's why they keep him out there.
Well, it's just balls being pumped into the area. Seeing what happens, both teams are playing the same strategy. Here comes the ball in the other direction. I mean, when you think about this, what are these games for? To get better, right? To test systems, to try things out. Have you seen any concerted effort on behalf of Uruguay to do anything? Not really. Jamaica?
No, the only thing I think you get from Uruguay right now is, more than anything else, it's game time, game experience for the players, but the chemistry is not there. You don't sense too much gelling. A little bit in the second half with Liguera moving to the middle. Ball crossed in. This could be dangerous. Tracking it down on the far side is Ziadi. And the Metro Stars defender turns it upfield. Johnson loses control. Correa make that Martinez back to the middle. Melo stepping forward. Not an intended dummy run, but Stoyanov almost finds Hornos. Well, this game, not a qualifier. There were a couple of qualifiers in CONCACAF. Caribbean action, at least the lower Caribbean teams playing off to determine who will move on to the next round. Home and Holmes, we'll give you an update on that. Here's Johnson looking for Damani Ralph. Can't control it, stolen away, and Melo slams it upfield. Correa looking for some help, finally drops it back. Antigua and Barbuda knocking off the Netherlands Antilles earlier today. Roberts and Clark getting the goals. And Andy Lowe with the foul for Jamaica, the 17th. St. Kitts and Nevis blowing out the U.S. Virgin Islands 4-0. Huggins and Isaac with 2 from Lake in a 4-0 demolishment. Davis out and Williams in.
Is coming out. So Jonathan Williams. This match was turned into a bit of a listless affair in the second half.
Williams getting an early touch, ball to the middle, looking for Lowe, or looking for, yes, it was Lowe. Ralph on the back post. Tyrone Marshall. Remember, he was a forward in college, passes it off. Johnson dances around Barbat, tucks it into the net, and the National Stadium erupts. Marshall to Johnson. Can you believe it? Jamaica 2, Uruguay nothing in the 82nd minute.
So Jermaine Johnson came in about 10 minutes ago, scoring the goal, but I think the man who made the play was Tyrone Marshall, former FIU and Miami Fusion. Watch, he fakes the shot and he makes the pass. And as Melo and Lima come out.
First mistake by Melo all day as he bit on Marshall's fake.
Yeah. And
no Curbelo either. Curbelo should have rotated back to the middle to help out. Instead, he was probably on the flank, keeping an eye on Onandi Lowe. Instead, a brilliant finish and a deserved scoreline, and more weight on the shoulders of Juan Ramon Carrasco. Foul against Uruguay, and the inevitability of this end result starting to settle in on Carrasco's shoulders.
Well, this is going to soil the reputation of Carrasco, if not his suit, because, I mean...
Chin-Su sending it wide.
I mean, you risk by going forward, but you get no results at the front, and then you take 2 goals at the back against Jamaica, of all people. And
15 shots. You know what? I only count 2 shots in the entire second half for Uruguay. They've had a little bit better touch, appear to be a little bit more dangerous, but have not gotten anything in the area.
No, they haven't been able to be able to string things together.
Foul against Jamaica, 18th of the game, and the restart from Oliveira.
I mean, with the start in the World Cup qualifier against Bolivia, which they won 4-0, and now, I mean, Carrasco is not on a good streak.
What was that? Ricketts out and makes the save. I think that was Craig Ziadi trying to lift it over his head. Well, Cafu does that at midfield, not in his own box. Here they come again. Ball in front by Williams, deflected back. Chin-Su to the flank.
Now Jamaica's, their confidence level now is sky high, of course, urged by the crowd. I think they won a third.
Marshall, could be a handball. Play on. Johnson, the goal scorer. Oliveira knocks it wide.
Yeah, well, we were talking about Uruguay's inconsistent play. I mean, this is a team that came back from a deficit to tie Brazil in the World Cup qualifier. And then they put a performance like this, and this is
Oliveira with a yellow.
Because he's losing his credit with the Uruguayan people. And he said, I want to change Uruguayan soccer, but if you see the incremental change, but it's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde performance from this team. And of course, we're watching Mr. Hyde today for Uruguay. You always try to figure out who was the good guy and the bad guy of those two.
Here, the shot from Reed off of Oliveira, deflects to the midfield. Cornel Chin-Su sticks the boot in, and smartly and calmly, Jamaica swings it back. Long ball from Stewart into the area. Johnson with help. Pass off to Williams. Back to Johnson. Top of the box. Jermaine Johnson, Chin-Soo, Johnson.
Can't mark.
Rough. And just wide of the post.
Uruguay can't mark at the back either. This 3 defender formation's giving them fits.
Damani Rolfe, who scored 11 goals with 6 assists, the former UConn product. Normally you say go to the back post, but Barbat was leaning that way and he almost threaded the needle.
What I'm wondering is, well, actually the ones who come from Europe may have a heat excuse, but a lot of these players come from the South American summer for Uruguay.
Whistles coming from the stands. Still about 5 minutes left to go. Chin-Soo. Good work by Jamaica. Onande. That's going to be a foul and more time off the clock. And another yellow card. Melo in the books.
Second yellow for Uruguay. Oliveira had the other one.
2 goals in 2 minutes, or 2 yellows in 2 minutes. They'd be praying for 2 goals in 2 minutes right now. But you know what? Especially the way that they have kind of turned it around. And when you take a look at the table, Uruguay better play a heck of a lot better on March 30th against Venezuela, or they'll be looking up the table at Venezuela. Right now, Venezuela just 1 point back in 6th place, or make that 5th place. Ball crossed in, cleared away by Oliveira. Uruguay with 7, Venezuela with 6 after 4 rounds.
That'll be the 30th of March.
Hornos, nice pass to Stoyanov, who runs into a wall named
He got caught in
Stewart.
In that web, in that afro web of the hair. Stewart knocked him down. Stoyanov tried to play it around him.
Chin-Soo pass off, Ziadi. Chin-Soo in the box, cleats out, keeps it alive. Still Chin-Soo looking for help. Still Chin-Soo. Like he's got it tied by a thread to his ankle and finally cleared away by Correa.
It seems like a theme here when the Jamaican players.
Stoyanov, nice ball into the middle. Oh, offside flag comes up against Hornos. I don't think so, but Ricketts made the stop anyway.
I think, maybe let's take a look right here. Yes, he's offside.
But was he even? Very close to being even with the ball.
No, I think he was offside, but.
Well, regardless.
What I was going to point out is the fact that you notice that Jamaica, even though when the Uruguayan players slide at their feet, they keep the ball on Nandy low. You saw Chin-Soo. It seems to be a physical difference, which is notable. There we go. Hornos giving the ball up.
Well, Jamaica's federation needed to borrow a lot of money to get this game on.
To pay Uruguay.
Basically to pay for Uruguay's flight, to pay for the appearance fee, to pay for the hotel, the food. And it was somewhat of a gamble by the new head of the Reggae Boys. And they did get some good loans, no interest. I don't know if you and I could do that, but they were hoping to make it up with a happy performance here today. And with a 2-0 lead and a nearly full stadium, I can't believe some of the fans are leaving. This would be one of those ones I'd be sticking around for an hour after the game. No Andy Williams. Let's see if Onande Lowe gets another one. He's standing there along with Garfield Reed. Reed tried the last one and slammed it into the wall. Lowe, shot, deflected. Barbat will grab it just shy of the flag.
Well, 1974, the first meeting between these two teams. How the soccer world has changed.
Ball on the far side. Stoyanov can't grab it. Another whistle and a foul against Uruguay. And a player down behind. Is it Ziadi? No, it's Tyrone Marshall. Marshall would be one of the candidates for man of the match.
I was thinking about that. I think on Andy Lowe, however, because just the way he's been able to hold the ball, tire the defenders out at the back.
In my point, though, I think he was a little bit too tired himself in the second half. Well, Cranston Boxhill, who's the new president of the federation, replacing Horace Burl in what Burl basically considered was somewhat of a coup, as he was surprised by the vote. Moxhill coming in, they're holding a $30 million debt. They had to borrow some more to get this game off, but I have a feeling that the coffers will start to be filled if they can continue this en route to World Cup qualifying. Of course, it was a disaster in the Olympic qualifying. Outscored 9-1.
This was in the Guadalajara. Well, whose disaster would you consider to be more graver? United States or Jamaica?
Jamaica. Because the U.S. always could say, well, we could have lost or tied against Honduras and then taken on Costa Rica in advance. But also the fact is the U.S. has been to the last 5, and Jamaica is still trying here on the near side, Garfield Reed. Although if it happens again,
I think the U.S. failed on a bigger stage. Jamaica just sort of withered away in that tournament. But
Jonathan Williams, by the way, one of the Jamaican Olympians.
It's like which was worse, to be at Hiroshima or Nagasaki? So, yeah. I mean, they both had a terrible under-23 qualifier, in my mind, anyways.
The only point I would say of the U.S. also, because you did start to see the development and, I guess, the versatility of Bobby Convey, so there were some bright spots.
I'd seen that at the under-20 World Cup. I thought he was...
We also saw the dearth, not Darth as in Vader, but dearth of central defenders.
The defense, oh my God. And lateral defenders. And I don't know. I don't even want to think about that game against Mexico.
92nd minute. Oh, happy news here for Jamaica. Jermaine Johnson singing a happy tune right now.
Well, if you're going to pick a man of the match, maybe, I mean, it's been a pretty even performance for Jamaica. I think also Ricardo Fuller did some good work on the side.
Andy Williams did some nice work. Donovan Ricketts, give him some credit. He saved the penalty.
But the two things to point out here, I think it's the lack of Uruguay's inability to react to Jamaica's attacks. And Jamaica missed, even though they missed quite a few opportunities, the ability to control this match totally. Still, 92nd minute, they're still coming forward.
Ball crossed in. I don't think there's really been an outstanding individual effort. Here a chance for Chin Su. Could be offside, play on. Another chance on the near side for Onandi Lowe, who again trying to shield the ball away. But the one person who I think gets the most out of this is Carl Brown. As many countries in CONCACAF, it is so rare that you actually have a native coach. And so many times they've been looking to Brazil to find the man to guide Jamaica to the World Cup. And Carl Brown showing that they can beat a World Cup team here.
Well, maybe not all the players are here with Uruguay. However, it is Uruguay, and of course Chevanton, there's no debating, he's a world-class player.
Tyrone Marshall.
The other thing is they also take advantage because, for example, Guatemala is not even playing on this date. They just couldn't organize a match.
Cleared away by Lima. The whistle blows. It is over. Put it in the books. Jamaica has beaten Uruguay 2-0.